very good morning and welcome to Breakfast News on Channel 1 NTV. As always, let's take a look at today's headlines. GCE O-level examination to begin today. "30 injured in an accident in Ratnapura." Clashes between Syrian security forces and protesters leave 18 dead. Now for those stories in detail, the 2011 GCE Ordinary Level Examination will begin today. Commissioner General of Examinations Anura Idirisinghe stated that the examination will be held at 3,920 examination centres. He went on to note that strict action will be taken against those who breach examination laws. 30 persons have sustained injuries in a bus accident that occurred in the Kinkine Junction in Ratnapura. The Ratnapura police noted that the accident had occurred at 1 this morning. A bus which was plying from Mundragal to Colombo had skidded off the road and had collided onto a business premises. The Ratnapura police noted that a technical failure had caused the accident. The injured have been admitted to the Ratnapura Base Hospital. A hospital spokesperson noted that the condition of 2 of the injured is serious. Meanwhile, 23 people sustained injuries when a bus fell into a precipice last afternoon close to the Vijay Junction on the particular Horton Plains road. The injured were a group who had arrived to see the Horton Plains from Varkapula. The deaths of the 3 persons who were found hanging off from a tree in the Kadigava area in Eppavala have been confirmed as suicide.
Speaking to News First, police media spokesperson SP Ajit Vohana said that this was confirmed following the post-mortem examination. The post-mortem inquiry into the deaths were conducted at the Anuradhapura hospital last evening. SP Ajit Vohana stated that the final verdict can be reached after the post-mortem report is presented to the magistrate. The victims in the incident reported on Saturday were 2 sisters of the same family and an area resident who was an army deserter.
Well, Prime Minister of Qatar Hamida Jasmine bin Jabbar Al Thani will arrive in the island today. The Minister of External Affairs noted that in addition to the Qatari Prime Minister, several high-ranking businessmen and the Qatari Finance Minister will also engage in a tour of Sri Lanka. The main objective of the visit is to strengthen the bilateral relationship between the two nations. During the 2-day visit, the Qatari Prime Minister will also hold talks with President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Well, video obtained from a social media website yesterday shows what it says are clashes between Syrian security forces and protesters in the city of Dera, which resulted in 18 people killed. Shots can be heard in the video, which apparently shows security forces backed by a bulldozer also firing tear gas at a group of people. In Bashar al-Harir, the remaining of what appears to be a house are shown, allegedly after being shelled by government forces. Hundreds of army defectors in southern Syria fought loyalist forces backed by tanks yesterday in one of the biggest armed confrontations in a 9-month uprising against President Bashar al-Assad. Troops mainly from the 12th Armored Brigade, based in Izra, 40 kilometers from the border with Jordan, stormed the nearby town of Bashar al-Harir. The sound of explosions and heavy machine guns was heard in the area. Meanwhile, security forces across the country told striking shopkeepers yesterday to open up their stores or they would be smashed. Activists are promoting the strike to encourage Syrians who may be frightened to join the uprising against the Assad family's 41-year rule. Activists say about 4,600 Syrians have been killed during 9 months of protests. Assad says that the casualties have been overwhelmingly by the security forces targeted by armed terrorist gangs. Well, time now for this morning's Global Wrap.
Indonesian volcano that threatened thousands of lives appeared to have calmed down yesterday, allowing the local airport to reopen for the first time in nearly a week. Although smoke was still billowing from the caldera of eastern Indonesia's Mount Gemalama on Ternate Island, local services were informed the volcano was no longer a threat. The death toll from an explosion-triggered landslide at a cement plant quarry in southwest China's Guizhou province has risen to 4, with 3 others still unaccounted for. The accident occurred on Saturday in Changchun County when miners at the Yangchang cement plant were gathering rock from a hillside with explosives. 9 workers were buried instantly. A convoy of trucks and motorcycles arrived at Arlington National Cemetery during the weekend to deliver over 100,000 holiday wreaths, which will be placed by volunteers at the grave sites of fallen U.S. veterans. As over 20 trucks pulled up the cemetery gate to make their delivery, they took turns blowing their horns. Despite the cold weather, scores of volunteers are waiting to help unpack and distribute the green wreaths decorated with red ribbons.
Well, Australia made history at hockey's men's championship trophy in Auckland, New Zealand after they beat Spain to win the tournament for the 4th successive time.
Eddie Okunban was the hero for the Kookaburras as he found himself in the right place at the right time to tap home a penalty corner rebound 11 minutes from the final whistle. Spain had created a number of chances in the first half with Brock Oliver and David Alger, both coming close to opening and scoring. However, they were unable to capitalize, and while Australia also threatened with Timothy Devon, only denied by some brilliance from the Spanish goalkeeper Francisco Corte, the misses would prove costly for the Europeans. Okundan's goal and some scrambling defence in the end was enough as Australia added another Champions Trophy to a growing collection.
Well, the second test match between Australia and New Zealand played for the Trans-Tasman Trophy is currently underway at the Bellarive Oval in Hobart. Invited to bat first, New Zealand posted 150 runs all out in their first innings, and Australia responded with 136 runs all out. New Zealand then went on to post 226 runs in their second innings. Chasing 241 runs to win, Australia opened 4th day's play with 72 runs on the board. For no loss, Philip Hughes was the first wicket of the day as he was sent back to the pavilion for 20 runs, caught off a Chris Martin delivery. David Warner then went on to score a test half-century. At the end of 45 overs, Australia were 159 runs for the loss of 2 wickets.
Is too obsessed by that pain he's feeling. It's over the top, just over the top. Well, something certainly has upset.
Well, on Entertainment First this morning, we take a look to witness the behind the scenes of Pitbull's latest hit, International Love, featuring Chris Brown.
Everywhere, everywhere. I don't play baseball, but I've hit a home run. How important is it for me to shoot videos in Miami? It's very important to show, the world, the city that made me, who I am. To come from a city with that has built my character. So when you hire a crew that I've been working with, I say for the last 6 to 7 years, that to me shows unity, shows loyalty, shows respect. So it's beautiful to be around the same crew, same clique, same people, and grow together.
Well, with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News, but be sure to join us on our early updates. I'll see you again at 8:55 with the very latest. Until then, take care.